It is an unusual thing when a county investigates its sheriff. Most of the time, they leave the sheriff alone. There's not a lot that they can do if the sheriff is corrupt. That's been seen time and time again because it's a separate office. It's been an office in this country since before this was a country. It's part of something we brought over from Great Britain. Now, Wasatch County, Utah has got something interesting going on with their sheriff's department. Wasatch County, Utah has a sheriff by the name of Jared Rigby, and it seems that some of their deputies aren't real happy with him. The county actually got a retired judge to investigate them. There are claims that he is bullying and intimidating officers. He is playing favorites. A guy that talked to this retired judge that was investigating for the county, he was suspended and has to go through a physical, including a mental one, if he wants to come back to his job. This is what's going on in Wasatch County. Now, I don't know if you guys know Wasatch County. If you do, tell me if I'm missing something here. I'm reading from the news articles that are going on there, but it sounds pretty wild. And now, it makes me wonder, why would any of this happen? So, we're going to cover this. If you want to know what's going on government, local, state, and federal, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to find the stories that I can, and I'm going to cover these things. So, hit like, hit subscribe, because this is what I do. Here we go. Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself. Now, this is from Fox 13. Another investigation reveals concerns of favoritism and intimidation by Wasatch County Sheriff. Wasatch County has completed its investigation into Sheriff Jared Rigby and his department. The findings show a pattern of serious concerns surrounding favoritism and intimidation within the department. The county hired a retired judge to complete the investigation. In his report, retired Judge Richard D. McKelvey documented similar concerns to the ones that prevented Rigby from obtaining a powerful state position in 2023. At the time, a Fox 13 News investigation exposed a video of Rigby accused of bullying and intimidating a police officer. Governor Spencer Cox appointed him to be the next leader of the Peace Officer Standards and Training. But upon learning of the video, Rigby's swearing-in ceremony was postponed and ultimately canceled. Rigby resigned his position as sheriff in order to accept the post director position. When he did not get the job, Wasatch County allowed him to return. McKelvey's investigation began in March 2025 and lasted approximately 5 months. He interviewed more than 30 current and former law enforcement officers, some of whom supported Rigby in 2023. Some deputies said Rigby and Undersheriff Jeff Probst interfered with investigations, even though they both repeatedly admitted to not having significant training or experience in criminal investigation. For example, officers reported Rigby instructing them not to arrest a suspect in a high-profile murder investigation, despite having a murder weapon buried in the suspect's backyard. The suspect was eventually charged with obstruction, not murder. As the primary detective and other experienced officers prepared to execute the search warrant, they were instructed by Sheriff Rigby and Undersheriff Probst not to arrest the suspect regardless of what was found in the search, McKelvey wrote. Possibility of any post-arrest interrogation that might have been conducted was lost, resulting in great frustration, not just for the investigation and investigators involved in the case, but to other law enforcement agencies. Deputies have also reported Rigby for playing favorites, picking and choosing who gets promoted within the department depending on how loyal they are. Some are reported giving up on applying for promotions because the perception was that the process is already rigged. Two witnesses reported seeing Rigby take photos of the lieutenant exam and texting them to a candidate for the position. A retired lieutenant stated he received every question and answer to the lieutenant's exam prior to the test. He said he received the answers during a 4-hour phone call. Subsequently, the witness took the exam and passed with the highest grade, evoking a WCSO civilian administrator to express his surprise that the witness scored so high. Witness acknowledged that he almost certainly would not have passed the test but for Sheriff Rigby's assistance. Rigby flatly denied the allegations. Witnesses have also reported Rigby for wasting taxpayer dollars using a county vehicle to drive to Provo for his other full-time job working as a police officer for Brigham Young University. This issue was presented to me by so many witnesses that it is apparent an area of great concern and resentment. Rigby acknowledged he used his county vehicle to drive to Provo and that he uses taxpayer money to pay for the gas. He also said he does so for public safety reasons, which is within the Sheriff's Department's policy because it is within 50 miles. Investigation determined that Rigby likely wrote the policy himself. McKelvey recommended the county consider amending that policy in light of the damage it has apparently caused the morale of WCSO personnel. Fox 13 News first started asking questions about this Wasatch County prior to the launch of the investigation. I think we're always sensitive to the highest and best use of our public funds, and I think anytime there's concerns about those things, we're happy to address them and be alerted to them. Do what we can to ensure that we're using taxpayer funds responsibly, said County Manager Dustin Grabow. Witnesses also said Rigby used county funds to give gifts to other sheriffs and to pay for a campaign event. McKelvey was not given access to financial records, so he could not confirm or deny the allegations were true. Numerous number of employees accused Rigby of rarely being seen in office, which Rigby disputed. The retired judge also documented how neighboring agencies such as Summit County Sheriff's Office and Heber City Police Department have strained relationship with the Wasatch County Sheriff's Office due to Rigby's behavior. Okay, so I'm going to put a link to this, but it just keeps getting worse and worse as the article goes on. But Rigby did respond, so let's cover that. Now, Fox 13 actually did cover that Rigby responded. In a statement, the sheriff wrote that he welcomed and appreciated recommendations to improve the Wasatch County Sheriff's Office. The investigation was commissioned by the county in March 2025 and completed in August 2025. It determined Sheriff Rigby and Under Sheriff Jeff Probst interfered with cases despite relative inexperience and lack of knowledge in conducting criminal investigations. I recommend that the WCSO implement a policy that discourages such intervention, wrote the retired judge. Rigby committed to implementing many of the recommendations but did not go into any specifics. While the review was not conducted as disciplinary or criminal investigation and does not make factual findings or credibility determinations, it does report that concerns of the complaints and offers recommendations, Rigby wrote. It also provides an outside perspective of issues that can help us improve overall operations. One of the recommendations listed in the report urged Wasatch County to disband and reestablish its Deputy Sheriff's Merit Commission, which is tasked with determining the qualifications of police officers. The commission is not operating as anticipated by statute, and there is widespread distrust that the commission is merely a rubber stamp for the sheriff's hiring and promotion procedures and is populated by his supporters, McKelvey wrote. Mistrust of the commission's role as a subservient to the sheriff is understandable. The county has not decided on whether to disband or reestablish commissions. Instead, Rigby stated he would be implementing a new professional standards division, which will answer directly to the sheriff and act independently of other office divisions. All internal affairs investigations or inquiries will now be handled by this division. Deputies who spoke with Fox 13 News on condition of anonymity due to fear of losing their jobs said they were extremely discouraged by Rigby's dismissive attitude toward the investigation. They believe the new division flies in the face of recommendations outlined in the investigation and that there will not be any accountability due to the nature of Rigby's elected position. Rigby also stated the department would pursue accreditation from an independent professional sheriff's organization to conduct ongoing regular audits of the Wasatch County Sheriff's Office. Okay, so I'm also going to put this in here, but they're pretty much saying that he's denying that any of this is valid. Didn't address a lot of the issues that most people were concerned about. So it's really interesting. At the end of the day, when it comes to a sheriff, you have to, you know, get somebody to run against them. You have to get people to vote for the person that's running against them. So it makes you wonder, this guy's been elected to this office before. Could he be reelected? You know, whenever the election happens, are people going to be that concerned about him? Is crime down enough that this isn't a big deal? But at the same time, how many people actually follow this kind of thing? You've got to work together. It doesn't matter if it's a Republican or Democrat sheriff. You've got to work together to make sure that, you pay attention to what's going on with these things. That's what led to the whole Battle of Athens that happened back in the 1940s. Sometimes sheriffs are able to get away with things that they shouldn't be able to get away with, and people have to take care of the situation. But that is up to the people of Wasatch County. Now, I'd love to hear if anybody from Wasatch County actually is listening to this because I want to know what you've got to say. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.